If that's your idea of having a dog, just don't. Just don't do it. Okay, here's something I can gripe about right here. See that dog right there? If that's your idea of having a dog, just don't. Just don't do it. A dog is not meant to live like that. Just don't. Okay, I'll tell you what, here's another topic for a video. So, how you guys doing today? Here's a good topic for a video because that dog brings it up. So, my wife works at the animal shelter, and let me tell you, here in the South, you wouldn't freaking believe how irresponsible people are with their pets. I mean, you would not believe oh my God, there's so many animals that come through that place. I may include some pictures of some of the things we've done in the past. Before she was employed there, she volunteered there, and we used to take animals to meet transportation to go to rescues. They send them all over the place, all over the country, but mostly the ones that our shelter worked with were either up north or sometimes in Florida. That'd be like New York, Chicago, you know. Well, I'll include some pictures of the freaking vans. Hello, that's a big dog. Where'd he go? I'm not scared of big dogs, but I couldn't see him and I just knew he was behind me somewhere. Now somebody's watching and saying, wish he was in one of them kennels, don't you? No, I don't. I don't wish that at all. It's not right to keep a dog in a kennel like that. Anyway, back to what I was saying. I'll include some pictures of some of the transportation trips we've gone on that two 15-passenger vans with kennels stacked 2 or 3 high, full of dogs. I mean full of dogs. Each kennel had at least one animal in it, sometimes 2 and 3, sometimes a bunch of puppies. It is absolutely ridiculous. We would give up our Friday night or Saturday, sometimes it'd be, you know, sometime during the week. Where am I at? Oh, I'm on 64. Okay. You know, to go and do this. We're giving up our freaking night because people can't spay and neuter. Just freaking have your pet spayed or neutered. That's all you gotta do. I'm not going to get on the topic of breeders because that's a whole different topic. But don't buy from a breeder, especially one of these puppy mills that, I mean, oh, it's just so bad. You have no idea. See, you think, this is what people think, and I know it because I've heard them say it, and because I used to think it. you think that, oh, look, little Lucy got out and got pregnant. Look at these cute little puppies. But you don't realize that there's thousands and thousands of little Lucies out there getting out and getting pregnant. And those puppies have to go somewhere. They didn't ask to be born. It's not fair for these animals to be put in these tiny little kennels at an animal shelter and live months sometimes, because the animal shelter she works for, it's not a zero kill, but they do everything they possibly can to get the animals out. They generally only put down animals that are dangerous or really sick, or they spend money they don't have a lot of times to take a sick animal to the vet, you know, because they care. That's what I'm trying to say. They care about the animals. And it's not fair. It's not fair to the animals. It's not fair to the people like me and my wife, that we give up our weekend night or whatever, that we could be out on a date and we're, you know, driving to Nashville or wherever we might have to go to meet some transports. And it's not just the people that don't spay and neuter either. The ones that really make you mad are the ones that, oh, well, we just can't, we're moving and we can't keep him anymore. Come on, man. Find a place that'll let you keep your animal. I mean, our dogs, we say they're like our kids. They're not our kids, because I'm not going to bury my kid in the backyard if they get run over by a car. But, you know, our dogs are special to us. We love our dogs. If something happened, we had to move, there's no way we're just taking our dogs to the animal shelter. And the ones that really, really make you mad are the ones that bring in these sweet old dogs, and they're like, you know, he's just gotten so old we can't take care of him anymore. That takes a special kind of sorry right there. Alright? You are a low down, filthy piece of crap if you do something like that. You just take a dog to an animal shelter. Because here's another thing, this is another misconception. You think, oh, I'm just going to take them to the shelter and they're going to be loved on and cared for and they'll take care of whatever medical needs. And no. Fluffy is going to be stuffed in a tiny little kennel. It's 3x5 maybe. And Fluffy's going to have to sit in her own piss and her own shit half the time, because the shelter can't afford to pay workers that keep them constantly clean. And they do keep them clean, but it's not, I mean, you wouldn't want to sit in it. I don't want to go that way. I mean, that's what my wife does. My wife cleans kennels. Not a glamorous job. She doesn't have to work. I make enough money so that she doesn't have to work. She does it. She was doing it for free before. She just does it now because they offered her some money for it. So, anyway, she goes in the mornings and they clean and clean and clean. And then by the time they get done cleaning, guess what? They got to turn around and clean it all again. So, you're Fluffy, that was the point I was trying to make. You just have to excuse my ADD, but the point I was trying to make is Fluffy is not just going to be taken in and loved on and be going for walks and have a bunch of toys to play with. No. No, what's going to happen is Fluffy's going to get stuffed in that little kennel. Fluffy's going to sit in his own piss and shit. He's going to bark his fool head off because the family that he's known and loved his whole life has just abandoned him. He don't know what's going on. Everybody's a stranger. It's loud. It smells bad. That's what's going to happen to Fluffy. Okay, and he's going to sit there. Oh, nobody wants an older dog. So odds are he's not going to get adopted. So somebody like my wife, who after cleaning kennels all day, a lot of times comes home and is on the internet and talking to people and trying to arrange. That's the word I was thinking of. Trying to arrange rescue. She's talking to rescue. She's saying, hey, we can have this dog here, whatever. I don't even know what all she does, but she does it all the time. So Fluffy's going to sit there until somebody like my wife can find Fluffy a nice place to go. Well, it's still not going to be nice. Rescues are better than shelters because they only take in so many animals. They don't have to take in everything that comes to them. They can pick and choose. And if Fluffy's old, the odds of the rescue getting him adopted are pretty slim, so they're probably not going to want him. There's only one that I know of that does. I'm sure there's more, but that deals with older dogs, because older dogs are harder to make a profit on. And that, I mean, it sucks that it's got to come down to profit, but everything does in the end anyway, and I'm not against profit, that's for sure. Anyway, so that's what's going to happen to Fluffy if he's lucky. If Fluffy is lucky, he or she, Fluffy sounds like a girl's name, we'll say she. If Fluffy's lucky, she's gonna get rescued quick. But the odds are against that. So the odds are she's going to sit in that kennel and sit in that kennel and sit in that kennel until something happens. You know, she comes down with something that it doesn't make any sense to put a bunch of money into a vet bill to get her fixed. And so she's probably going to die. Or be put down. Now a lot of shelters are not like the one my wife works for. So if you bring your dog in, odds are your dog is going to die the moment it disappears behind the door. So you think it's going to lovey-lovey land, but it's not. It's going to die. Because a lot of shelters will not take a risk of losing money and being in the red to keep that animal alive, because the odds are against it. So this all started because I was talking about misconceptions, and that is the misconception that you take your animal to the people think, oh, they're just waiting there, they need animals. No, they don't need animals. Let me tell you how bad it is around here, okay? They had an event called Empty the Shelter a while back. I can't remember if they were just giving them away for free or like a really, really reduced fee or what it was, but anyway, they actually managed to clear the shelter of dogs. Maybe cats too, I don't remember, but which way you going, girl? You don't know which way you're going, do you? So yeah, they actually managed to clear the shelter of dogs, and by the next week, it was full again. That's how bad it is around here. It's like that all over the South. Now, I'm not a fan of the state, but as long as there is a state, I'm on shaky ground here ideologically, and I know it, but I don't want to say that there needs to be a law passed, but something should be done, man. I don't, but the city I lived in tried to pass a pet license, and they have that in parts of the country, I know that, but it didn't fly around here. They actually passed it, but they're not trying to enforce it because they know what will happen. Anyway, something needs, education is the answer. Educate, but if the state passed a law to try and fix this, and it was a decent law, I wouldn't come out against it. And if that means I'm a hypocrite for, then so be it. I'll take it on this issue because it's just wrong. Oh man, I can't see. The sun's horrible. I can hardly see the road in front of me with the glare. But anyway, that's why I say spay and neuter at the end of each video. Because please, people, be responsible. Here's the thing. When your kids make a mess, do you teach them to clean it up, or do you clean it up for them? Because a lot of people are making a freaking mess with their pets, and that they're allowing, oh man, the sun's bad, they're allowing so many animals to be out on the street that wind up in shelters, and somebody else has to clean that mess up. That's not responsible. That's not being an adult. Spay and neuter your freaking pets, okay? I'm sure just like here, there's programs. We have a program here that if you can't afford to spay and neuter your pet, they will pay for it. I mean, you just can't walk up, you can't drive up in your Escalade and say, hey, I need help spaying and neutering. You have to prove that you can't afford it. Maybe you can, I don't know. Anyway, I'm sure there's something to help you if you can't afford it. You know, if you can't afford it, go to your local shelter and say, hey, is there any way that you could help? I don't want to turn the dog in. I don't want to have a bunch of puppies on my hands. I want to be responsible, but I just cannot afford the surgery, which I don't know how you can afford to feed the dog if you can't afford the surgery. This freaking glare is horrible. But what I'm saying is there is a way for you to be responsible. Figure it out. Freaking baby. Spay and neuter your pets. Okay, I'm going to shut up now. I'm going to try to enjoy this road when I can see it. If I can get around this car now. Dang it. Anyway, I'm going to shut up and try to, because the last few times I've been down this road, I've been running my mouth and hadn't even enjoyed it. So, yeah. You guys stay safe out there. Please, please, please. Spay and neuter. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and have a nice day. Get up out my way, fool.